Hi guys, my name is Mark Maupin. I'm going to be your host today. And what I want to talk to you about is how to get into the wholesale game if you're a new or experienced investor. So let's get started. I want to talk a little bit about myself so you can get background on where I'm coming from. I've had a plus 40 years in the business of uh, buying and selling real estate, being a real estate investor. At one point, he had 350 rentals, was a licensed builder, uh, real estate agent. Uh, our family was in the mortgage business, licensed lender, servicer, and broker of first and second mortgages. Uh, was one of the largest note buyers in the state of Michigan for a while. So I've got a very active past in the real estate business. Today I'm active in wholesaling, uh, and I've done a lot of commercial and residential real estate deals, mostly through partnerships. Today I'm a lead generator for top wholesalers and real estate agents. Uh, I'm in my 70s. I'm not somebody that wants to go knock on doors anymore, but I do know how to generate leads and work out partnerships with wholesalers and real estate agents. Bought and sold over 3,500 properties. But I want you to know that I've had lots of failures, including a bankruptcy, and I want to share this with you now because those failures led to very much success. But at one point in my life, I was buying about 8 to 10 houses a month, and then I put rehab crews in. I would fix them up and resell them. I did it in one city, the city of Pontiac, Michigan. So it was a find, fix, and sell operation. I was in the rental business. I'd gotten out of that and gone into just find, fix, and sell. I woke up one morning and told my wife, if I can do 8, I can do 80. One of the biggest mistakes of my life. I could not do 80 homes a month. So that led to a huge failure and to a bankruptcy. So I want you to know a lot of people get into this game and they start to have success, and all of a sudden they do 1 or 2 houses and they think, well, I can do 5 or 6. I've seen most of those people get themselves in trouble. There's always deals in real estate. So just take them one at a time, get it complete, and then you'll be able to go find another one. So that's my 2 cents worth there. So I've got a couple disclaimers I always give when I'm talking about real estate. And one of them is that real estate investing by its very nature is risky. You can win, lose, or break even. We cannot guarantee a profit or loss, and we do not provide legal, accounting, or contracting advice. But the topic we're going to be talking about today is wholesaling, where you're not actually putting yourself at risk. And it's the number one place for, I think, for a new investor to get started, to learn the business, to understand it, to learn how to comp stuff. So I don't think you could be in a better place. But with that said, I still give the same disclaimer. And then I have a second disclaimer, and everything I'm going to tell you today is a lie. And if you want to try it out, anything we say works for you, terrific. Said another way, I don't want anybody suing me. So just buckle up and you'll get to see what you do and don't want to do. So I have a very specific agenda today, and that's how to get into the wholesale game for new or experienced investors. I want to go over new clauses that you can put into your purchase agreement to allow this to happen, how to get more money for your vacant wholesale deals, a quick way for new wholesalers to get a list of unsophisticated buyers, and how you can market your own property yourself to buyers. In other words, you're like a wholesaler selling to other wholesalers or investors with no commissions that you have to pay. How you can work with a realtor where if you sell the property, you don't owe a commission. But if the realtor brings you a deal that is in your criteria and what you listed it for, you would owe that commission. So we're going to talk about that. real quickly, going back up to the one, I'm going to show you how to get a list, but this popped into my head right now. So one quick way that you can get a list of investors, if you're brand new, just starting out, you can go to a site called Fiverr, Fiverr, and for a very small amount of money, maybe $5, $10, $15, you can buy a list of all the real estate agents in your state or your area. And you can get that. You can look for people who scrape lists, and you go to the one that's for Yellow Page. Yeah. And all the real estate agents and companies list themselves in the Yellow Pages. So you can have that Fiverr person scrape that list, and they'll give you maybe, like in Michigan, there's like 11 to 13,000 real estate agents. I can get, by just doing the Yellow Pages, a list of probably 7,000 to 8,000 real estate agents. In just the Detroit metropolitan area, I think I came up with a list of like 4,000 or 5,000. So with that list, now you have real estate agents that you can be sending your deals out to that are already working with investors. It's a real quick way to get started. So with that said, let's stay focused on our agenda. Now, a lot of you are on this call today and you're like, how do I get into the wholesale game? In other words, and this is what we're not going to be talking about today, but I'm going to show you where you can go get this information for free before the seminar's over. So, so you'll be saying to yourself, how do I find wholesale deals? What's the art of negotiating a deal? How do you determine the buy and sell price? Using the MLS is a better, how to get a better sales price on my wholesale deals, rentals and flips and properties. How to get buyers list, how to set up your business, how to get started in wholesaling, how to use bandit signs to find buyers to want to sell their house for cash and not get in trouble using them, where to find motivated sellers, how do you find a local trainer or investor that will let you learn and earn as you go. So that's a really simple, here's the place that you go for that. And I'm clicking on it. Now, different states, you're going to have different investors with different YouTube channels, but this is my YouTube channel, and you can see the stuff just gets posted all the time. So these are different workshops we did on how to do find, fix, and flip, how to do find and rents, workshop on just a bunch of wide range of stuff. There's commercial in here, how to get into the commercial real estate investing, how to find the right contractor, tips on if you had an insurance claim, how to handle that and maximize your claims and stuff. So there's apartments. You can just kind of look through this. It's a really good tool. And simply Google my name, Mark Maupin, YouTube channel, and this will pop up. And these are all free, and they're a wealth of information. And all of our past meetings we've recorded. We have a very large meetup group, 6,000 people in this area. And so it's a good resource for you, is all I'm saying. So with that said, let's say if I was starting all over in the wholesale game, plus 40 years, I'm going to give you what my roadmap to success would be. First thing you want to do, and it's a pretty quick read, go on the internet and do a Google search for a book called Who, Not What by Dan Sullivan. It's an incredible book that I don't care what business you're in, it will help you, because I had to take a drink of water here, because it's going to show you the who's in your life are the ones that are going to get you where you want to go. And by that I mean, like if you're in a given market, you want to find out who the top wholesalers are and get to know them, and you want to enroll them in who you are. That book takes you through step by step how to do that. Second thing I want you to do is get a real estate license. And you're saying, oh my gosh, I don't need a license to wholesale. Or you're an existing, very experienced investor and you don't have a real estate license. You're stepping over dollars, because here's the deal. Think about this. You're an experienced investor. Your deals are going by you all the time. And if you've got a good deal, what I do is I develop relationships with people like other licensed real estate agents. So if I get a property that doesn't qualify for a wholesale deal, or a deal to be sold to an investor but needs to be resold, I refer it to another real estate agent I know. He goes out, and I'm a real estate agent, so I can get, in this case, I get a 50% referral. So he handles everything, meeting with the customer, listing the property, and getting it resold. He's extremely happy with that relationship. I'm extremely happy with that relationship. So you're missing deals by not doing that. And then the other thing is really to get a really good comp or comparable prices, or to know what the house is going to resell for. You really need to have a relationship with a licensed real estate agent. You might as well get the license and be able to comp the property yourself. Remember, these are just my opinions, and you can do with them as you please. The next thing you want to do is look for a real estate friendly investor broker. By that I mean you want to find a real estate broker that you can put your license with, that is already involved with real estate investing groups, is possibly a broker who handles a lot of REOs, in other words, real estate owned properties that have been foreclosed on. So you want to be able to find those guys and be able to work for an investor broker that isn't going to say, you owe me a commission on your buy, or maybe that commission's a very low amount, or that, but you're going to be able to work for them and then find deals that you might want to have relist, or do what I do, have somebody else relist it, because it's the nature of the business. When you're out chasing deals, not every deal is going to be that one for a wholesale deal. It's going to be a motivated seller. It can be a good deal. You know it can relist and sell. So you might as well pick up that money. The next thing you want to do is you want to find the king or the queen of wholesale in your market. In other words, the person that's doing deal after deal. He's getting the properties tied up. He's the number one guy at pushing deals to other investors. He knows what he's doing. And you want to get to know that. That's the who. So how do you find that person? You want to join as many real estate investor meetups in your area as you can, and start going to them, and you'll see who those people are. You also want to go to local RIA meetings. Those are the real estate investing groups. How you find almost all those is to join Meetup, and go on Meetup and just type in real estate investor groups, real estate wholesale groups, and they'll show up around you. The next thing you want to do is you want to join private Facebook groups for real estate investing and wholesaling. So you go into your Facebook and you do a search for, like in my case, if you were in Michigan, Michigan real estate investors, Michigan wholesalers, Michigan RIAs, and they'll pop up. And then you want to join those groups. A lot of them are private groups, and so what that means is you have to submit your email, say I'm a beginning wholesaler, I'm a wholesaler, I'm a real estate investor, and they'll give you permission to join. So the average group out there that I see is anywhere from 5 to, well, actually from 3,000 up to 10,000. I see some of them that are up 20,000 plus people. So I belong to Facebook groups all over the country that are real estate related. You want to start in your immediate area. So to give you an example, this is my Facebook group that I have. I didn't start it that long ago. I have 3,500 members. Let me see here. I probably didn't do that the world's best. So what we're going to do is just do a Google search, and we're going to do Facebook or better yet, I'm going to go into Facebook and look for my group. So I'm going into Facebook, and I'm going to do a search for Michigan. Here it is, Michigan Real Estate Investors Club. That's me. But if you do a search, this is my group, 3,600 members. But you can see on the groups what they're doing. They're posting their properties that are for sale. So if you're an active investor looking for good deals, wholesalers are great. So you want to join these groups to look for that. Here's somebody that's got questions. So you can go in and put your questions. Other people will answer them. Here's one in Detroit. So you just see, kind of get a flavor for what's in here. So it's designed for people that are active investors. So Facebook is an incredible place for you to go find some great stuff. So now I was very specific that I wanted to give you certain things in this meeting. So new clauses that you can put into your purchase agreement, whether you're an experienced or new investor. Now I'm going to show you my real estate buyer favorable purchase agreement, and I will also send that to you before this is over. I'll give you my email. You can email me. I'll send you the PowerPoint, and I'll send you the purchase agreement. And I'm going to attempt to send it to everybody that was on this seminar. But if you don't get it, I'll give you my email so you can email me. Sometimes when people email me, it might take me a day or two to get back because I'm extremely busy, but I will get back with you. I want you to know that. Okay, the premise on everything based on wholesale real estate investing is you're only working with don't wanters. By that I mean people that want to get out of the property. They don't want the property. Could be somebody who went through a divorce. It could be a probated estate. It could be a foreclosure. It could be for the most crazy reasons that people don't want the property and they want out. And what you are is you're a problem solver. And you're going there to solve their problem. So, but with that, you need to be able to have certain clauses in your purchase agreement that'll do that. Now I'm going to give you some of these. This is a purchase agreement, the example I've used in the past. Not all of this is really pertinent to being able to tie the property up, but I thought I'd show a few of them anyway. So in my purchase agreement, I've always got the property to be free of debris and at least broom clean condition at closing. Now, if there's a real truly don't want her and they're not getting any money and they're walking away, that clause means absolutely nothing because they're not going to clean the house up or anything. So it's something I could scratch out, but in most cases they don't care. So then when you're dealing with people that are in trouble, you run into a lot of people that are in foreclosure. So they just want to walk away. So they're willing to deed their property off to you, but it's got a mortgage on it. But you don't want to agree or assume that mortgage because you're putting yourself into harm's way. So what I do is I do an assumption of existing financing. And the key words to this is, and you can see them here, I agree to take it subject to. In real estate, what that means is you're agreeing to take the property, but you're not willing to be liable for it. You're not saying you're going to make the payments. It's saying you're just taking the property over, but you're not going to pay the underlying mortgage, nor are you responsible for it. That liability rests with the seller. Now, why would a seller want to do that with you? He's a don't wanter. He wants out of the property. He wants to walk away. He's done. And that property could have more time. Like in Michigan, there's a 6-month period of redemption, so you've got time to get that property resold, possibly do a short sale on it or whatever, but you've got opportunity. So you need to have a clause that protects you. Now, even if he deeds the property off to me, I'm not going to record his deed. I'm going to show you why, because I still control the property through a claim of interest, which keeps me out of the liability if somebody would have entered that property and had a slip and fall or got sued. So the buyer has the right to enter the premise during reasonable business hours for the purpose of inspections to test and show the property to potential tenants or purchasers for resale by the buyer. If the premises are vacant, the buyer shall be provided with a set of keys upon acceptance of this offer. If the seller occupies the property, I'm not concerned about that. I'm concerned today about vacant property. So you're getting their keys and you've got access to the property. That's what that clause is saying. I'm not going to get into tax prorations. There, what I'm doing is somebody's prepaid their taxes. I'm getting their prepaid taxes assigned to me. And that's not something I'm concerned about today. Then the closing shall be held on or before, of course it would say 2022, and you'd have the date as promptly as practical. This allows you to get extra time in your closing. You could put 90 days, but basically what you're doing is it's allowing you to control the property, because you might not be taking a deed to the property. You might just have a purchase agreement. You're then looking to get that purchase agreement assigned. So you want to have a clause in there for assignment. But I want to say in the state of Michigan, all purchase agreements are assignable. But I put this in here so the buyer's clear what my intentions are. Again, they're saying, why would they be giving you a property if they know you're going to assign it for property? Because I'm experienced. I know what I'm doing. I'm working with all these investors. I have a big investors list. I just showed you how to, buyers list, which I just showed you how to get 4,000 or 5,000 people on yours. So you can honestly tell somebody that you have that, and you can send that out to all those people. So by assigning the buyer's interest in this purchase, this agreement shall not prohibit in any way, nor notice required to the seller should it said assignment concern. The seller hereby waives the right to review the creditworthiness or the financial information of any assignee of this agreement. The buyer is an investor. In the event of this assignment, the buyer may charge a fee. Not may, I will. So so now I get a claim of interest, and that's my clause 19. Now you got to remember, this I'm talking about stuff I do in Michigan. Even if you're in Michigan, you still need to check with an attorney or have somebody look at this. Claim of interest. It's agreed and understood by all parties that the buyer at his or her sole option may file a registered claim of interest or a memorandum of purchase agreement with the Register of Deeds in the county in which the subject property is located. Now I have that in there for a couple reasons. If the person is, remember I'm an investor, so now I'm going to take this out to a lot of other investors and give them the property to look at. If they're unscrupulous, they can go to the buyer and go around you, even though you have a written contract, and technically they can't do that. But if you make it clear that you've got a recorded interest in the property, they're not going to do that. So it protects you. And then there's a few fools over the years that have, and they end up paying me for that mistake, because when they get with the buyer and strike another deal, when they get ready to close, that shows up at the time of closing by the title company, and they're going to have to deal with it. So I call it pay me now or pay me later. So that's an important thing. Let's say that the property is, well, I'm going to get into this later. So then again, here now I'm telling the seller agrees that this property will be resold, and the resale is to be conducted under the complete control of the buyer, the broker, the investor. The seller will not in any way interfere with the conducting of the resale or the commitment or commit any act to hinder or any way diminish the effectiveness of the success of the resale of the home. Then should the seller do that, I've got a fine that goes against them, but I don't even know if that's enforceable. I've never had an issue with that because I've been clear with the people on what I'm doing. So back to what I promised you today. So I said, how do you get more money for vacant wholesale deals? If you're a new investor, how do you get the biggest buyers list of less sophisticated buyers who will buy? Well, remember, I've already told you you could go on to Fiverr and scrape and get lists of investors, or you could even go on to Fiverr and find somebody who would scrape for investors on the internet with their buy sites and that. But let's want to focus in on some really key things. So, one, if the property's vacant and they're a don't wanter and they want to walk away, one way they can do it is deed the property to you. In the state of Michigan, if they deed the property to you and there's taxes owed and they give you a warranty deed, you can't record your warranty deed unless those taxes are paid. So they can't also give you a second deed called a quick claim deed. So the quick claim deed can be recorded and taxes can still be owed and you can convey it. So I'm going to have them sign a warranty deed and a quick claim deed in the state of Michigan. But remember, in my purchase agreement, I've got the right to file a claim of interest. So I'm not going to record those deeds. Why am I not going to record those deeds? Because if somebody went on that property and slipped and fell, even though I've got that property, I'm buying it in a limited liability company, which keeps the liability away from me, that liability company might have properties in it that have value. So I don't want to be involved in any lawsuits. So I just file my claim of interest, which then gives me the control on the property, but not the ownership of something that doesn't have insurance that could result in a liability. So I want to say this now in this session. The key to real estate is not necessarily owning real estate, it is controlling real estate. This gives me the control of the real estate. So, with that said, and you've done it with your purchase agreement clauses, with full disclosure, you can now control that vacant property. And I want to tell you my donate story now. So I have been involved with charities over the years, and I've been somebody who actively sells properties that get donated to charities. And I also today am the director of a national charity. So, and that charity is drivingsuccessfullives.org. I'll pop up the site here in a second. But in getting the properties donated, I would then take them to all the real estate investor groups, like, because I got the property. Now it's been deeded over. It might have some taxes due on it or whatever. But I'm now taking it out to be resold. And what I discovered was that if I take that vacant property and put it on the MLS, list the property, the dollars that I made on the property are way higher than being able to take it out to real estate investors. Remember, real estate investors or wholesalers are offering properties to other investors, and they have to be able to make money too. But when you put it on the MLS, you have a much less sophisticated buying group. You have thousands of agents working on your behalf. And you remember, if you've got your license, then there isn't an issue. So I could get way more dollars. I mean, like double the amount that I normally got. So I can give you a pop if you're interested in ever donating a property. I'd love to be able to talk to you. This is our site. It's called Driving Successful Lives. It goes into great detail about donating. If you go down it, there's articles in here that are all the things we've done with the donated property and the good we've done. I think you'll find it interesting, and then there's sessions in there about why donate too. So with that said, first of all, I want to make it clear. I hope everybody gets this. A key to a wholesaler is gaining control of that vacant property and being able to relist it in the multi-list. He still takes it out to his other wholesale buyers like he normally would. So everybody steps over this. I bet you 95% of all investors don't attempt something like this. So now the second thing is, how can you market your own property yourself to other buyers with no commissions? Okay, so you're going to take it out to wholesalers and get it sold. Yet you could have a realtor working on selling the same property that you're working on selling, and you only pay commissions if the realtor brings you the buyer at the price and terms that you wanted. So this is really key, because now it's not just you working on selling your property, you have the multi-list system working. So that's called, it's an open listing. So I have one person that I work with here in Michigan, and he's incredible. He's very service oriented. He's thrilled to get the listing, and he gets the job done. So you want somebody with personal experience. For me, is finding a real estate agent that's honest. By that I mean is sometimes when he'll bring in the buyers and then redoes the deal with them, he'll actually put me in the second thing. So now I'm actually getting paid when he's satisfied somebody on selling my property. That person's relisting with him. I'm also getting a referral back from him. So as a real estate agent, you can enter a referral agreement with another agent and get paid. So the person that I work with is in Michigan, if you're in Michigan or in Southeast Michigan, is Eddie Williams. His phone number's 248-252-4114. He's been one of the best guys I've worked with. I've been absolutely thrilled with him. So there's some other items I want to talk about is the fact that, remember I showed you the YouTube, so the fact that I can't cover everything today, there are YouTubes here that you just click on the link when you get the PowerPoint from me. Pros and cons of having a real estate investor's license. Should the real estate investor get a real estate license? Why a real estate license as a property investor? Access to the MLS. How do real estate investors get access to it? How do you get access to multi-listing? Where do you find real estate deals by using the MLS, finding your deals? What do you do as a new real estate investor? Where do you start? How do you form your limited liability company? How do you negotiate? We've got videos on here. How to get leads, how to generate your leads, how to find deals as a real estate investor, how to make an effective cold call. We actually have recordings where people are doing cold call recordings. How to make an effective property cold call. Michigan real estate investors learn how to make effective cold calls. So it's just a bunch of different ways. Here's how to comp your houses, how to actually work the comps. A tour of a rehabbed house, walking you through, telling you what to do, what not to do. Find, fix, and flip. How to get started in that business. How to sell it. Another one, how to do find, fix, and flip. So how to get quick funding. So I mean, there's a lot of different videos on here that are helpful. No charge. Not looking for anything. So I also would like you to consider on the real estate donations. You're going to be doing your wholesale deals, but when you get to a tougher wholesale deal, you may want to partner up with somebody like me that takes real estate donations, because remember, you're giving the person a certain amount of money and they don't want your deal and it doesn't work for you. Then you can partner with a charity that's very experienced in real estate donations, and they can offer the person, the charity takes the property in, the charity can buy it, and then the person can still get the benefits of what the appraised value for the property is from the donation. So it really helps you create a deal that'll bring your deal in. So if you're interested in that, email me, or if you've got a deal, talk to me. So if you got value out of this, I'm asking you to tell some other people to come about it, asking them to join our meetup sites, leave a positive comment on our meetup sites or our YouTube channels. And if you need to get hold of me, you can email me. My last name is Maupin, MAUPIN .mark@gmail.com. It's my private email. And that's it for our seminar. I want to thank you very much. I hope you got value out of this today. And email me also if you want the PowerPoint, my purchase agreement. I'm glad to send that to you. Remember to check with whoever's in your state that's knowledgeable. Make sure you talk to somebody before you go running around with a Michigan purchase agreement trying to use it in another state. I thank you for your time. Have a good day.